Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Saving Mr. Banks. This is the 2013 uh, biographical, historical film. It runs 2 hours and 8 minutes long, and it stars Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson. We just had Emma Thompson on Treasure Planet yesterday. It's a Emma Thompson weekend. Let's see if we can what we get tomorrow. I don't know. What else has she done for Disney? I don't know. We'll see. Uh, who knows? But before we start, just to let you know, this is the last day for the original 768 different entries for Disney Plus. Tomorrow, on October 1st, I'm starting the list over, and I'm including the last 9 months of updates, shows, movies, series, shorts, documentaries, everything that's been added since the original launch date almost a year ago. So get ready for some all new possibilities and no accidental repeats if we do it right. So anyway, let's get back to the movie. And yes, Tom Hanks, Emma Thompson. Tells a story of how Mary Poppins came to be at Disney. And Mary Poppins was a book created by P.L. Travers, the woman played by Emma Thompson. She is, let's say, she was very protective of Mary Poppins, and she said she's family, and she wasn't about she's from Australia, but she acts like she's from England, and people who know what those cultures are like, let's just say they may sound similar in accent. They are not. At least in some people's minds, one seems to be a bit more brutish than the more cultured English. So that's just the way people think. Anyway, she has been hounded at the start of this film. She's been hounded for 20 years by Disney, by Walt, not by the corporation itself necessarily, but also by Walt specifically, because he's wanted this book. He made the promise to his kids that he'd make a Mary Poppins movie. So yeah, I'm not sure what year this is, but I forget when the original Mary Poppins came out, but a lot of time went into acquiring the rights. Yes, at this point, he doesn't have the rights when this movie starts. He doesn't have the rights, and he's trying to prove himself and prove that the Disney company will do right by P.L. Travers in order to get those rights. Well, you can pretty much expect what's going to happen, at least by the end, because they obviously made the movie. You know that movie. We've even talked about this movie in one of our previous episodes months ago. But yeah, how it got there, let's just say that, yeah, there's been some contention about this movie as being accurate. No, it is not 100% accurate about how everything worked and how everything was negotiated and how people acted. Let's just say it took. They had to make it the Hollywood version, okay? Yeah, it's to tell a story, and it's meant to be in the spirit of how things went. And Walt doesn't necessarily come off as a saint here. He is certainly a hard-edged, not hard-edged. He's a bit hard-headed, not as much as she is. She comes off as very humorless, very uptight, and she's at the point of where she's not going to make any more money off of this property. She could lose everything if she doesn't negotiate a deal with Disney, according to her agent. And so she humors them. She goes to Los Angeles for 2 weeks, pretty much with the expectation that she is not going to give them the rights. But she's going to humor them, and something in the back of her head says maybe she might, but on the surface, she is not giving an inch. And she goes into meetings and butts heads constantly. So it's she runs across. Well, the main people she interfaces with, other than Walt, are Bradley Whitford, who plays Don DeGrady, And the Sherman brothers are played by Jason Schwartzman and B.J. Novak. B.J. Novak from The Office, and Jason Schwartzman from just about everything. He's been all over the place. The two of them play the Sherman brothers, and yeah, they wrote the music, and it's. She doesn't even want this to be a musical, and she certainly does not want animation. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you how. I'm not going to give you any more spoilers. I'm not going to give you any big story things, except to say, and this isn't going to ruin it because you can see all this in the trailer. While it sets itself in that modern day, you can see her reflecting upon her childhood and everything that inspired the existence of Mary Poppins, and that comes from her growing up in Australia, and her dad, who was a big dreamer and a super imaginative, and he was always just fun more than being responsible. Her mom did her best to keep her 3 kids alive, fed, sheltered, and taking care of them, while her dad did his best. But sometimes life wasn't easy when you're just a dreamer and you're not too practical to balance things out. So that's all I'm going to say about her past. It's something you need to learn if you get a chance to watch this. If this is something that you figured would be boring and like a drama, whatever, maybe you might. If you're looking for an action film, this is not going to be for you. But the idea of this, if you're into the sort of the history with Disney and how the films came about, and there's plenty of humor in this, very dry humor. There's moments where she just savagely burns these people when she comes back at them. Even Disney, she does her best to cut their legs out from underneath them every chance she gets, even when they think they're about to win her over. She has no tolerance for just about anybody. She does make a friend along the way, but I don't know if that's real or not. There's certain elements I think may have been added to this, either to humanize her more or less. I have no idea. I don't know all the stories behind it. There's people that are Disney experts who know all of these things. I'm sure you could find them on YouTube as well. But I'm going to tell you that, for me, I enjoyed the film. And one of my favorite parts is, of course, when he takes her to Disneyland, pretty much against her will. And right now, at this point, I wish I could be dragged by Disney to Disneyland. Have a limo drive right up to the gate and through it. Yeah. Disney, at this point that I'm filming this, is still closed. Disneyland is still closed, not Disney World. Disneyland is still closed due to pandemic. So yeah, it would be a dream. Tom Hanks plays a very convincing Walt Disney. I mean, the only stuff I know of Walt is from watching old, Disney stuff with him introducing things, but I haven't seen a ton of stuff to go, oh, that's just not a convincing reenactment of Walt. It's Tom Hanks though, so he's the Walt Disney of movie actors in many cases. Well, maybe not. I shouldn't make that comparison, because there's some people who know too much about Walt and don't like him, and know too much about Walt and love him. So, and then there's people who have opinions about Tom Hanks that are just wackadoo. So, anyway, I won't get into that. But yeah, this movie is it's emotional. She's not about to let go easily of these characters, and when you watch this, you kind of understand why. Walt empathizes with her in one case, and he even says to the Sherman, I think it's the Sherman brothers. I'm not sure if he said to Bradley Whitford, but there's a point where somebody offered to give him money to the rights to Mickey Mouse, and he had not a penny to his name, and he couldn't sell Mickey. Well, there's a story about how he created Oswald and sold that to Universal, and then he had to create Mickey. you know what? There's other people who can tell you this a whole lot better than I could. But yes, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is a story you might want to look into, as well as the origin of Mickey Mouse. So, yeah. I miss Disney. I want to go on the carousel just so I could ride the exact horse that Tom Hanks rode, and as Walt Disney, or as Emma Thompson rode as P.L. Travers. I have a friend, when she was little, she would come to visit, and she would always pick that horse when we would go on the carousel. So yeah, she knows the history. At 8, she knew the history. But yeah, it's like I said, this is it's not a fun film, but for some adult viewers, or at least kids who are mature enough to enjoy a little bit of Disney history, I think might enjoy this. Yeah, and so you get to see how a movie is made from a dramatic point of view, and yeah, half of the movie is cut between her as a child and her dealing with Walt Disney, and it makes for a compelling story, at least to me. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's not for everybody. It's not Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but there's all different types of movies we can all love. So, yay! By the way, shirts in the '90s are really. Why do they have the neck so tight? And yeah, you're never gonna see me. I don't think you're gonna see me wearing a long sleeve shirt anytime soon when I do these. Anyway, here we go with the final selection of the original 10 months or whatever of the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Everything starts anew tomorrow. Here we go. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
402.
402? I get a feeling we had that one already. But I could be wrong. No, we did. Yeah, this might be the last time we ever do this. Unless they take stuff like off of the system. 402, 101 Dalmatians. Oh, another classic. But, by the way, 101 is in the 400s. But all the 101 Dalmatians movies, the sequels and stuff, those are all at the top because they're numbered rather than lettered. All right, let's pick. A little trivia.
209.
209. Didn't we already pick? So this is our last gasp at doing this kind of thing. Oh, no. We haven't had this before. We had 207 at one point. Oh, recently, yeah, that was Gravity Falls, which I loved and I finished already. Highly recommend that. So that's my. Yeah, I finished the entire series. It's only 2 seasons. Anyway, 209 for tomorrow is Great Migrations. It's a documentary. So it's in red, so that's what it means. I imagine it might be a 1-episode, 44-minute thing. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll see you back here tomorrow with a brand new updated list for the next 3 months. And I'm going to update it quarterly after that. So I'm sure I won't shut up about it for the next few days, every episode. So Great Migrations on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.